everybody, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another thought of the day. No rant this time, nothing but positive and wonderful news from our club, Newcastle United, and one of our very own, that's right, Sean Longstaff, has done an amazing article today with George Caulkin from The Athletic. I read it earlier on, absolutely class. Had a little bit of a crap with George on Twitter about it as well, because I really found it amazing. I'm not going to tell you all about the article because I want George to get the views and the subscriptions, but going to get stuck right into this now from a lovely sunny day in North Shields, Sean Longstaff country, actually. So yeah, as many people know, Sean has obviously clawed his way back from the depths of darkness under the Baron of Bacon that was Steve Bruce, and pulled himself back into not just being an integral member of the squad, but an integral member of the starting lineup as well. We don't seem to work the same without Sean. I think that was evident against Aston Villa, but he's done this amazing piece, very open, very raw, very honest, very much like the lad himself. I think he's such a likeable kid. He's one of our own. He's been at the club since he was 9 years old. He's 25 now. He's having the best season of his career probably, as we're pushing towards Champions League. And it's just a brilliant piece. It's a real feel good comeback story, really, that George has superbly written, as he always does, for The Athletic. Where Sean talks about nearly joining Everton, where Rafa wanted him there. He kind of made his mind up that his time at Newcastle was done, largely in thanks to Steve Bruce mismanaging him, really. He didn't say that's my words. He was a bit more eloquent than that, but I think it's pretty clear how bad Steve Bruce was, not just for this kid's professional development as a player, but also the treatment of him as a human being as well. And I think the same probably can be said for Matty as well, the way that Steve Bruce handled the pair of them. These two really should have been the future of Newcastle United and should have been the fulcrum of Steve Bruce and his Newcastle side, but he just seemed to treat them like shit, really. I don't know why. I don't know why that was. I'd love to know. I'd love to sit with Steve Bruce and ask him what the fuck he was hoping to achieve by treating the lads that way, but I don't think he'd ever get that answer because he'd just give you a load of bullshit spin, probably, because that's what he does best. I think it's possibly just an old school manager that doesn't understand how to speak to younger players, and I think that's probably evident quite in a lot of cases in football these days, which is why it takes a bright, young, articulate, intelligent manager like Eddie Howe to come in and just get the best out of Sean. He put his arm around Sean. Sean was very complimentary about Eddie, understandably. The bit that really got me, and I won't steal too much of George's article here, but the bit that really got me was when Sean said he spoke more to Eddie Howe in a month than he had to Steve Bruce in 2 years. That is absolutely astounding. That blows my mind. All these people in the press, all these media pals of good old Brucey, like Alan Brazil and all these other knackers who were saying what a wonderful manager he is and he's a great guy, all based on the fact that he was centre-half of Manchester United when they won trophies. Clearly not a very good manager at all. The fact that he made this kid feel as low as he did and as worthless as he did as the Newcastle player and as a human being as well. So, I think Steve Bruce could really learn about what he does wrong from this piece if he had any kind of humility, which I don't think he does. So he probably won't. But yeah, it's testament again as to how wonderful Eddie Howe is, not just as a manager, but as a bloke as well, as a human being. He sees this lad down. He knows there's a good player in there. He knows there's a great guy in there. He picks him up. He builds him up. He makes him feel 10 foot tall. And look what Sean's doing now. The running man, as it says in the piece, he just never stops running. I'd love to see what his running stats are like. I know running stats are quite hard to find. Mark finds every other stat in the world except for running stats, because I think you've got to go a little bit more at market for that. But Sean Longstaff covers so much ground, every blade of grass, and because he's there and he's putting in that graft and that work, it allows Bruno and Joe Linton and Willock to have that creative edge to their game, to do the things that they do to win games for us because of the work that Sean puts in. He's integral to the team, as I said. But yeah, the piece is just wonderfully written as well. It just shows you what Sean's been through, how his character has been tested, how he's had to bounce back at a young age from a real dark place. I love his rawness and his honesty about the whole situation. It's something that we can all take a lesson from, really. When you're feeling down, you're feeling low like that, you have to open up and you have to talk to people. Sean clearly got to a space where he didn't feel himself and he broke down in front of his family, and he's very honest about that. The bit that's amazing about that, and it goes to show you, I think we've said this before about Matt Ritchie, there's a coach in there 100%, but Matt Ritchie reached out to Sean and he gave him somebody to talk to help him through it, and it's brilliant by Matt Ritchie, not just as as possibly a future coach and spotting that and learn how to deal with that, but also again as a human being to see that this young lad needed help. And thanks to that act of kind of kindness and support as a teammate and as a person from Matt Ritchie. You know, Sean was able to go and get that help and speak to somebody, and you know, that's really helped him massively on his road to redemption, if he even had to redeem himself, really. Football's a very fickle game. We only ever see what we see on the pitch. We don't see what's going on off the pitch, you know, and a lot of us are very judgmental in that moment. You know, if somebody misplaces that pass or hits a shit cross or skies it over the bar, we're all guilty of it. I've been guilty of it, attacking these players. We don't know what's going on, you know, upstairs in the mind. And football is a massively mentally taxing game. You're in the public spotlight, you know, with social media as well. You can be attacked. Some people, you know, criticise and some people comment, and I suppose that's par for the course, but some people attack as well, and there's no need for that at all. And it must be really hard for these young lads to try and get through that as well. But yeah, I mean, the piece is brilliant. I'd advise anybody to read it. We'll put a link to it in the video below, and it just shows Sean in a great light. And ironically enough, if things had been different, he could have been playing for Everton, which I'm sure Sean's glad he's not. He didn't say that, but I'm sure he's glad that he's not, because they're a bloody dumpster fire of a club. But yeah, I'd advise anybody to read it. It's a brilliant piece. It just makes you love Sean Longstaff even more, if you thought that was humanly possible. Big shout out to Tommy the cat as well. I've got a couple of cats as well. Sean, I love a cat. So massive to hear that. Some brilliant banter in the piece as well. But yeah, go and check it out, guys. Absolutely class. I love the fact that this is the way the lads are, and that team unity and that sense of spirit and that sense of togetherness as well. It's just a brilliant feel-good story from Newcastle United, and I'm glad to just give you our thoughts on it as a channel. So that's me done. If you like this kind of thing, smash subscribe, come and join us. We're over 3,000 subscribers now, so loads of you click the button, loads of new subscribers here. I'd love to have you on board. All Newcastle United crack and evermore, a little bit of other stuff as well. Like the video, help get it on YouTube, help the channel grow, and we'll catch you later. Cheers now, bye.